Golden State, California Congressman Eric Swalwell is refusing to drop out of the California gubernatorial race after allegations of sexual assault or misconduct by 4 different women, one of whom is charging rape. The misconduct allegations are coming from women, including one former staffer who is alleging the married congressman raped her, and she was too intoxicated to consent, and she woke up during sex.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened. And I will fight them with everything that I have.
The congressman there denying the allegations. Joining me now, the man who is leading the race for governor in California right now in the polls, who this week was endorsed by President Donald Trump. Steve Hilton with me right now. Steve, thanks very much for being here again. My apologies for a shortened session. What can you tell us about this race and your reaction to what is happening to your competitor, Congressman Eric Swalwell?
Well, we're hearing, Maria, that he is going to be dropping out. That's not confirmed yet, but that's what's coming into me from the Democrats, who are sick of this guy because he is embarrassing them. But the real truth is they knew all along. That's what's really sickening, Maria. Swalwell was endorsed by Adam Schiff, by all the big unions, the teacher unions, the SEIU. They all knew about this. This has been an open secret ever since he got into the campaign. They didn't care. Their outrage is totally fake. They backed him anyway. And it doesn't matter who the Democrats send to run against me, frankly, because this state is sick of how they are mismanaging California. We have the highest poverty, unemployment, and cost of living in America after 16 years of one-party rule. And we're going to get change. So whether it's Katie Porter, who looks like she's their backup, or the billionaire climate fanatic, Tom Steyer, could be him, I don't think it matters. I think I will be the next governor of California, especially now having the support of President Trump.
Well, President Trump endorsed you this past week. Congratulations on that endorsement. Tell us in a nutshell what your campaign is. What are your plans for California?
Well, one of them you can see right behind me, and it's highly relevant to what you were talking about with the president. $3 gas. $3 gas in California by opening up California oil and gas production. And here's the connection to what the president said. We have huge oil and gas reserves in California. Imagine if we had a governor in California who wants to work with President Trump to open up oil and gas production instead of what you've got now, which is Gavin Newsom has directed his bureaucrats to phase out oil and gas production in California. Right. Now, if we go in the other direction, that's going to help the president and the whole of our country to have energy dominance. And that's my plan. Top of the list, $3 gas is part of what I call Cal-affordable. Going to make life livable again for California businesses and families who've been crushed by the Democrats' taxes and regulations.
Well, it's a good point, because even Dan Yergin was with us recently, and he said when you look at the states that are most impacted by what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, it's California getting impacted much more than anybody else because of bad policy. And I want to get your take on that. How are you going to win, though? I mean, it is largely liberal in California. Can you win this thing?
Yes, and there's a very important moment happening this morning, Maria. The California Republican Convention is meeting in San Diego. That's where I am. And they're about to vote on their endorsement. If we are a united party, we get a big turnout.
We'll be watching.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.